AC-130. It's the United States! AC-130 who? I don't think you had time to say that. Alright, that's cool, man. This game's neat. Alright, I am going to get us ready here for Space News. We have a special guest for Space News. We have a special guest for Space News today. I thought you guys would appreciate this. This guy is the cat's meow, if you catch my drift. So, we're going to start Space News off with that. Can I post a link? Yeah, sure, with the mods. Yeah, just gotta get the mod there. So I'm gonna take a little break here, and I'll be back in a moment. So don't go anywhere, and we'll start Space News on the other side of this.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. JPEG. 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 JPEG, 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 JPEG. I look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. I just want a picture of a. I just want a picture of a. I look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. JPEG. 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 JPEG, 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 JPEG. Look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
What a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn, 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 goddamn hot dog. I just want a picture of a. I just want a picture of a. Goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. JPEG. 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 JPEG, 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 JPEG. I look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
What a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn, 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 goddamn hot dog. I just want a picture of a. I just want a picture of a. Goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
What the JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
I look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. I just want a picture of a. I just want a picture of a. I look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. What the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. I look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. I look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. JPEG. 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 JPEG, 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 JPEG. I look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
What the JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
I look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. I just want a picture of a. I just want a picture of a. I look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. I look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. I look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. I look like I know what the JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. JPEG. JPEG, 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 JPEG. I look like I know what a JPEG is. I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
What a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. Goddamn hot dog. I just want a picture of a. I just want a picture of a. Goddamn hot dog. Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? I just want a picture of a goddamn hot dog.
All right, dudes. So. Okay, hang on. All right, so I know you guys love this song here. I gotta shut this part. I gotta shut the audio in on the stream off because I'm trying to set. I gotta set something up here. So this part of the stream is not going to have any sound here for a second, and yeah, we'll be back in probably about 5-10 minutes. Yeah, of course I got a picture of a goddamn hot dog. I'll be back in a second.
Laura, when your father became the first American to go into space 6 decades ago, it took the entire resources of a nation state. And today, you guys can do it in a completely different way. That, for humanity, is what's called progress.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, command engine start, 2, 1,
New Shepard has cleared the tower and is on its way to space.
Oh, wait. Oh my goodness sakes.
Oh, check this out. Oh my God.
Oh, you just let go and just go up? Oh, I lost it.
Holy.
There we go. The drogue's lifting out the main parachutes.
Yay! Falcon Peter, we're over. Always there for me.
Welcome home, astronaut.
Well, that was pretty neat. You guys remember that? You guys remember when that happened? That was pretty cool. Huh? So, today's Space and Rocket review, I got a little bit of a surprise. So the reason why I showed the NS-19 mission is because I have on the line here, I have one of the passengers that was on the NS-19 mission, Mr. Cameron Bess, Mr. Meeps Kitten on Twitch. Cameron, how you doing, buddy?
Good.
Cool. So
Hi.
Meeps here agreed to pop in and, tell us about the experience firsthand on a new Shepard flight. So that's pretty cool. Wow, I'm a little humbled. This pokey motoring stream. No,
I mean, you guys know, like, you and your chat know way, way, way more than I do about the rocket industry, but,
yeah, no, these guys are a bunch of nerds, man. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, in a good way.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I got you. That's cool. So here, let me bring up NS-19. So if you guys don't know what the NS-19 mission was, that is a flight on Blue Origin's New Shepard rocket, and it's a suborbital tourist rocket that is designed to, put people up into space. I mean, albeit only for a second, but it'll get you up there above the kind of universally regarded point of space, which is about 62 miles or about 100 kilometers. So, okay, let's teach him about his flight. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. I mean, I guess means the first thing I want to ask is, so on a scale from 1 to just insane, how awesome is it to launch on a rocket? I don't really get to ask that question to many people.
Yeah, so I think I didn't really beforehand know what was going to be the most thrilling part of the entire experience. I thought the zero gravity part was going to be like the main attraction, but I just loved the going up, because the entire time you could look out the huge window that they have there, and just going up and watching just outside. It just, and the speed and just the building of the G-forces, and just everybody was cheering in the capsule too. So it's so much energy, and it was just great.
That's really freaking cool. So, okay, you said G's. How many G's did you pull on the way up and down?
So on the way up, it was, I think, 2.5 G's. And then on the way down, it was about 5.5 G's.
Oh, whoa, okay. So that probably felt a little crushing there on the way down.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely like face pulled back, kind
Yeah.
of starting to like lose your vision, kind of G's. But it's actually not that bad because they do have you laying down, so that most of the G's are through your chest anyway.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, it's not like you're pulling positive or negative G's because the seats in the capsule are horizontal right there. Yeah, that's not as bad. I mean, you still probably felt that the next day though, yeah.
Yeah, for like the whole rest of the day, I kind of just felt like I was like floating in a way because, yeah.
Dude, that is. I mean, I can't believe I'm sitting here talking to you, man. I think that's just so freaking cool. So.
Oh, you can see it there on the screen, astronaut meeps.
Yep. Astronaut meeps, indeed. Yeah, I put your name up and who I'm talking to on the screen. Is that check out there? Are we good?
Oh, yep.
All right, cool. So, like, okay, this flight wasn't. I mean, it's automated, right? So it's not like you're flying the spaceship, right? So how much training did you need for a Shepard flight like this?
So we did 3 days of training.
Cool.
And then there was also an exam at the end. I believe they mentioned that was a FAA like requirement to have an exam for passengers on this kind of flight. So.
Huh. Okay. All right.
And most of it was like safety training.
Yeah.
There was no like G training or anything like that. No like physical like treadmills or anything like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, so the reason why there's no treadmills and stuff like that is because if you're going up to like an astronaut, like a NASA astronaut that would go up to the space station, they have to deal with muscle atrophy being up in the out of the grav well for so long because you're not using your legs, right? So, I mean, your flight was just not a second, but like it just went up and went down. So compared to the long duration space flights that NASA tested, yeah, that's not. I mean, astronauts need to train like for years to go up and do one of those long duration stays. They train way longer than they're even up there, you know? But you know what I'm noticing, Meeps, is that it's proportional. You know, for the time allotted in space, you have to train for a certain amount of time. I wonder if like an astronaut that would spend like a 6-month stay is the training correlative? Like, is the same amount of training for time in space? That'd be an interesting thing to go and
well,
mess with.
It was 3 minutes in zero gravity and 3 days of training, so maybe that's...
one day for 1 minute. That actually sounds right. That sounds like it scales.
Yeah.
We got a deep astronomy rate. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. So, what's up?
I mean, I don't know. So the training itself was like a lot of classroom training, but then they also had like a air quotes simulator. They called it the Tortoise, actually, which was like a replica of the crew capsule itself, basically. That they had its speakers to play the flight sounds in full volume.
Cool.
So that you could expect, like, because since we don't know, I mean, we did after the 3 days, but since we didn't know like all the different stages and all the different things that go into the actual flight, they wanted us to know the sounds of each piece of everything so that we didn't panic or anything as the sounds were happening, because they're pretty loud.
Yeah,
as
actually,
you can imagine.
Corsi in chat asked, like, how did that sound? Like, are we talking like thunderstorm loud or like fireworks loud, or where are we at here? I mean, I know it's long. It's obviously rocket engines going for a second, right? Like,
the engine itself actually wasn't the loudest part. I think the loudest two events are separation and either drogues or main chutes.
Huh.
And those can get up to like, I'd say most of the flight is somewhere between like a busy club and a like crazy rave concert, you know, like.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So
okay.
It wasn't insane. It was just they had us wearing ear protection, which they custom fit and everything. But I think for the most part, like if you've been to a concert, you probably wouldn't even be surprised.
Been 20 rows back in a Foo Fighters concert, so yeah, that was loud.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear anything for a little while, but yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Okay, so
I think that bell was louder than the actual.
Oh, all right. I mean, I saw you rang the crap out of that bell. I dig it. That's probably what I would do. It's just
yeah. I was like, well, I'm here, might as well.
Yeah, heck yeah, dude. No, I'd be like moonwalking down that thing badly. I'd be like, flying into space, Houston with another raid. Thanks, man. So, okay, tell me, this next one is kind of more about you, less about the flight. So, like, you said that chat knows a little bit more. Are you a spaceflight nutcase, or like you're just like, oh, this is cool, I want to do this? Because I mean, I don't care. Like, if anybody, more people we have like in space, the better. Like, did you like space prior to this flight?
So, it was always a dream of my dad's to go to space, and
Yep.
we did like model rockets. When I was a
Cool.
kid, we'd go out to the park and launch those and all that stuff. But I think for both of us, we were never like, oh, I don't want to train to be a NASA astronaut or anything like that. So, you kind of just move on from that. And I went to school to study computer science and game design. So I was in like a whole different like sector of living. And I just never really got into it because I never thought it would be even remotely possible to be able to go to space. Like it's like one of those dreams that you're like, okay, that's never gonna happen, but then it ends up somehow happening. And so I love the concept.
Yeah, dude, it's freaking awesome. I mean, I was about to say there's 7 billion people on this planet, and you've been higher than like 99.99999% of them up in the air. That's pretty cool. Not many people can say that.
Yeah, and it was always a dream. It's just, I just never thought it would happen. So.
That's, dude, yeah, crazy. It's crazy. I mean, dude, like, I'll be honest. I've come from a game design background too. I never thought I'd be doing what I'm doing, let alone like talking to somebody like, I just got somebody that flew into space on the regular on the stream. No big deal, right?
Well, I heard about your stream by a few people who watch you regularly. They said that you were covering the launch, and I was like, oh, that's so cool that people on Twitch like also care about this, because I've loved Twitch for forever, for years. It's been a huge part of my life. But Vega in your chat was one of the people who recommended it. So
that's Vega, thank you. You never know when you're gonna make a connection like that, where like it's like, oh, all right, sweet, just out of the blue.
So of course, like, I had to stop by one of your streams at one point. I was like, I had to say hi.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. That's something else, man. That's wild. I like, it's okay. So I have the NS-19 recap going on a stream, and I'm like, my mind is trying to parse the fact that that's you. I'm talking to you, and you're there on that thing flying into space. That my brain's like, that's okay, that's neat.
I still have like moments watching the footage of the actual launch from the outside where I'm like, wait, so I was in that? That's so wild, because from the inside it's a totally different feeling and experience, and then you just watch and you're like, wow, that's something else.
Yeah, that must be a little bit surreal. It's like, oh yeah, there's footage of me flying into space. All right, okay.
Yeah.
So you said you went for game design. So this is going to be something that's a little bit off of rocketry. This is just, I'm sure people are curious. Like, what type of games do you like? Like, what is like, oh, I want to do game design? Was there a single game that made you want to go down that path?
So for me, a lot of the reason I went into game design was the impact that games had on me growing up. It was always there were games that really were like awe-inspiring, and there's games like The Witness is a game that I reference a lot. It's a puzzle game.
Sweet.
And it actually is all about that kind of awe-inspiring like feeling, and what awe is. And I think that's the reason why I went after games, is because I wanted people to have that escape and that feeling of awe that is hard to come by. So
yeah, no, that's cool. Have you worked on any games? Like, do you code? Like, what are you making one? You gonna make one? Or like, what have you been out in the industry at all? Just out of curiosity, because I mean, like I said, I do the 3D stuff. I don't do the comp sci stuff. I do the 3D side of things, and I've never worked in the industry, man.
Yeah, so I went to a school called DigiPen Institute of Technology, which has a very mixed reputation. I mean, from within the industry, it's like the highest regarded game design school. But from the people who went there, it's kind of like, a different story. And I did a few game projects, because the way that they structure it is basically where you have like 2 semester long projects with a team. So you have this indie game company that your publishers are your teachers, basically. So I've done a few games as those as part of that. And in fact, actually, if you go to the DigiPen game gallery, you can download one of the games I designed for free, called Ascent.
Very, very appropriately named for this conversation, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, and it definitely struggled, where there was a vision from our lead designers, and I
know where this is going.
and we couldn't reach that, so then I ended up becoming the lead designer and just designing all the levels. So I am proud of the design that it ended up with, but it's definitely not the greatest thing ever.
That school project, now's the time to cut your teeth, like that's when you should be doing that.
The cool thing about it is it is actually a custom engine as well. So it's built from scratch, which is pretty neat. And I did the level design. I built the levels in our editor, and then I actually made the level save and load system as well.
Wow.
But
all right.
I got to the point where the school's bullshit was kind of like overwhelming, and I realized that the game industry is kind of like the same thing.
Yep.
So I kind of just dropped out and decided to do Twitch full time.
Okay. Well, I mean,
but I still, I've
stuff.
been programming VTuber software in my free time as well. And I do want to make a game eventually, but I just need to find a team of people who can do it in their spare time rather than trying to make a company out of it.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that we don't have a pretty talented bunch here, guys. I mean, I'm just saying. Is Ascent, this looks like a side scroller, yeah?
Yeah, it's a 2D platformer with puzzle platformer.
Cool. All right, hey, platformers, man. That's old school, dude. I like it. That's cool.
Yeah, obviously we didn't want to make it 3D because
that
actually
takes
I don't
time.
think we were allowed to make it 3D, but
that takes time to take it from somebody. My
3D projects are all in like Unity. I love using Unity.
Oh, dude, the Unity dev kit's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's really good. Cool, man.
But yeah, that was just C++, just straight up.
Yeah. No. Okay. All right. I mean, hey, you got to start somewhere, dude. Scroll down to the credits. All right. Cool. Let's do it. Yep. There you go. So I'm gonna ask a question about DigiPen. Is that accelerated program?
It's a 4-year.
Okay, 4-year. All right. Cool.
Yeah. I ended up going for 5 years before dropping out, so it's tough. I think most people, its graduation rate is like ridiculously small from the amount of people that come in.
Yeah.
It's it's like one of those schools where they're like, we're going to beat you to death so that the people who survive are the best of the best.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like Full Sail. That's where I went, dude. So I mean, I'm not
Oh,
sure.
really? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a Full Sail guy, and I passed. I made it.
Yeah.
Barely, but I made it.
So there's a running joke, and I hate to perpetuate it, but it goes, what do you call a DigiPen dropout? A Full Sail student.
Oh.
But
Damn, man. You gotta do me like that?
I don't buy it
No,
personally.
I mean, yeah, Full Sail will kick your tail in, dude. So like, dude, I understand that environment because we had to do projects like that too, where we had to build levels for games, and yeah, not my best work, you know.
Yeah,
but that's cool.
It's tough because you go doing other school things at the same time. So,
dude, you're absolutely right about the industry. It is cutthroat as hell. Like it is. I mean, I have a lot of buddies that work in that industry. They're like, how do you stream more? Like, I want to do that. I'm like,
yeah. It takes over.
Yeah, but, no, it definitely does. So you want to move into Twitch streaming? Do you want to do like game dev on stream or what?
Honestly, I just do just variety streaming, VTubing.
All right, yeah, cool.
But I do dev on stream on the non-scheduled days, so the off days, sometimes.
Yeah.
But most of it's like either modding games or making other software. Like I'm working on a VTuber software at the moment.
Dude, the VTuber stuff is cool because you have to bind mocap information that's interpolated off of a picture, right? Like, and then bind that to a rig, right? That's no.
Actually, here, let's see.
That's no joke, man. That's pretty difficult stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. It's there's a lot of software that exists for it.
Yeah.
Already. That you can kind of just borrow from a lot, but yeah, the whole setup's very interesting. Like I have an iPhone 10 that I got used from somebody, and I just have it sitting on my desk pointed at me because the Face ID on it has so much tracking information, so you use that for the motion capture of your face.
Okay.
And and then there's software that you can automatically just put in your avatar and have it work.
Oh, that's cool. All right. So hey, an off-the-shelf component is not necessarily the worst way to do things.
Exactly. And then I just take that and I'm working on making it specifically for Twitch streamers because a lot of the time it's like I just want to make it so that people can interact with your VTuber avatar from the Twitch chat, and yeah. Dude, eventually, I want like a full mocap suit, but that's expensive.
Yeah, and the cameras, dude. Yeah, no, we did mocap work at school. This was like 15 years ago, man. I don't know if I'm dating myself a little bit, but yeah, it's getting all the cameras and everything set up to get 3-axis of movement and stuff. Yeah, that's something, but that would be cool. Have you, okay, all right, this is kind of a little bit of a side question that just popped in my head. Have you seen the Unreal 5, the U5 mocap stuff that they're working on with like the Matrix? Dude.
I saw the Matrix demo, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh my goodness. I'm like, oh. Can you imagine?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Unreal 5 is really cool.
Hell of a piece of kit.
Yeah. I've actually only used Unreal a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just like Unity a little bit more, and I know that's like a blasphemous thing to say, but Unreal 5 makes me want to switch sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I did some work for KSP. Like I can make stuff, like I could do the 3D models for KSP, and I did work putting it through the Unity pipeline, like going into the dev kit, putting the model in, etc., doing all the plugins, all the flags, etc. Yeah, it's actually really that you're right. It's super streamlined. You can just right in and you're good to go. It's very easy to jump into.
Yep.
Which is cool. So, all right, back to. I'm gonna shift this back over to the flight. So, on a scale from 1 to kick ass, how awesome was it to fly with your dad?
It was pretty amazing.
That's
yeah.
cool, man. That's cool that you got to fly with your dad. That's amazing.
It was just everything considered too.
Yeah.
Like, I'm far from a normal person.
Yeah. We're streamers, man. We ain't normal.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
So it's just kind of awesome that he has always been not always, but has been very supporting of me throughout the years, and to do something like this with him is just like.
I mean, memes aside, man, I think family's super important. That's cool. That's cool to see that your dad, thought to, bring you with him. Like, yeah, no, of course I want Cameron to go with it. That's cool. I think that's really neat.
The secret is I have 2 other siblings, 2 sisters.
Well, we know who dad likes. Just saying.
No, he asked everybody.
Oh no! Oh no!
Me first, obviously, but I was the only one who said yes.
Well, I mean...
They didn't want to do it.
They're lost, man. Damn.
They didn't want to do it. Yeah.
So...
now they want to do it because they were there
to
watch it.
Are they... So, there's footage of you guys egressing out of the capsule. Is that them with you there?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can get the shot.
At the first moment of coming out, there's only they have there's different viewing stations that you can station your guests at.
Yeah.
And every astronaut gets a +1. And
okay.
At the first moments, you see those +1s are there. So for that, there was one of my sisters and then my mom.
Cool.
But then a few more come and
yeah.
I think you end up with 5 or so people, or probably 6.
So cool.
Three for each of us, three for me, 3 for my dad, that get to come out to the actual capsule that has landed. And then later on, the whole family that you bring along, which I think in total for us was, I want to say we got either 10 or 12 people that we could bring, because there was 2 of us again. So they all got to come out to the landed booster as well.
Oh, that's that's wild. I can't even, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this whole experience. Do you sit there, wake up, and you're like, huh, that happened? Okay.
I mean, at times, I always tell people that it feels like, it felt like I was living in a dream. It doesn't, in the moment, it didn't feel like it was real.
Yeah, I can only imagine, man.
But not in like a conspiracy kind of way.
No, yeah. I'm pretty sure this crowd knows what you mean, but yeah, it's definitely here. Let me see if we can pop that picture up. Yeah, that's a pretty good picture. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, as your dad's obviously, Mr. Bess is obviously super aviation nut. Is he the kind of guy that has rocket models in his office or plane models? I got to know. This has to be answered. It's a very important question.
Well, now he has both. I have a model of the New Shepard as well. They gave us models and everything. But he has planes and cars and rocket models in his office and stuff.
Okay. All right. Race cars or regular cars? This is important.
Like Ferraris and
all right.
Supercars.
Yes. Okay. All right. Sweet. That's cool. Sounds like a little bit of a speed junkie.
And yeah, I guess that's definitely a explanation.
I mean, okay. So the reason why I bring it up, all right, is because I'm convinced that the reason why I like space is because I like things that go fast. I also like race cars, and I like planes that go fast, and I really like rockets because they go fast. I don't mean to reduce it to some kind of caveman thing, but it seems like It seems like the people that gravitate to space are just speed demons. That's the only reason why I asked. I just needed to get a gauge there.
I think it's a fair mix of that and just being like a guy who grew up in New Jersey in like a fucking broken family, you know?
Oh, really? Jeez.
Yeah, and it's like you look at all these like sports cars and stuff like that, and you're like, oh, these are the goal, you know?
Hey, you know what? That's not bad motivation, man. That ain't bad motivation at all. You know, set your sights high, right? Damn.
Yep.
That's cool. That's cool. So your dad's self-made, right? Like that's from what it's not. That's cool, dude. I always admire people like that. That's really neat.
Yeah, he grew up. His parents were divorced. He was the middle child, and he he was selling cash registers door by door, to try to like pay for college.
Well, I think he made out all right. Damn. That's really cool.
He worked hard.
Yeah. Hey, that's what it takes. That's what it takes, dude. That's what it takes. That's cool. That's cool. I'd say he's doing okay. He raised some pretty cool kids, if you don't mind me saying.
Well, thanks, I guess.
Oh, come on, man. I'm softballing a compliment. No, that's cool. This whole thing is just very surreal to me, and I'm not trying to play it up. It's just kind of like, huh, wow, that's really awesome.
Yeah, I love. By the way, I just got distracted because I saw it. I'm lurking in your stream.
No, that's fine.
But I just saw the little clip of Strahan through the window napping.
Was he sleeping?
He says he was napping, but I don't know if he was actually like asleep. But yeah, he was legitimately eyes closed, like for the T-30 while we were just sitting in there.
Well, that's cool. So
I don't know if it was like a meditation, like calming kind of thing, but he says he was napping. But I don't know if that's a joke or not.
I'm not sure how big of a sports nut you are, but sometimes football players do that before the game. You know.
Yeah.
You gotta with football. Like I always tell people, and it's like people are like, yeah, okay. It's not just dudes hitting each other. You really gotta be in the right headspace, or else you're gonna get hit in the face, and it's really gonna hurt. And you're not going to be in the right headspace permanently, like after that. So, like, I played a lot of football growing up. You gotta just chill before the game. You can't if you try to hype yourself up. I'd assume that's where he got it from, you know.
Yeah, I mean, he was very excited once T-10 hit.
That's awesome. So wait, okay, so North Jersey or South Jersey? Help me place it. Where'd you grow up?
I didn't grow up in Jersey personally.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in California. I was born in Florida though.
Cool.
Yeah, he moved around a lot to try to find something that worked for him, and then obviously moving to California is like the tech industry is growing, at least at the time that
Yep.
For like 2000s.
That's
because I'm 23. I was born in 97. So he moved to California, risked it all to try to make it in the tech industry. Yeah.
Okay, so instead of North Jersey or South Jersey, NorCal or SoCal? Wait a minute, this is important.
It's like middle Cal. It was I grew up in Santa Cruz County.
Okay. All right.
But because it was a commute to like Silicon Valley, but
yep.
It was a nice area.
Trick question, chat. There's really no wrong answer to that. I like both of them. I'm sorry, I'm greedy. I don't need that. Why choose? They're both awesome.
His birthday's in a few days if he was born in 97. That's true. My birthday's on the 29th.
Yep. Chat going chat. Chat going chat. Yeah, of course, explosive. Of course you'd say that. No. They do that. Well, hey, Happy birthday, man. That's cool.
Yeah, I literally, it's weird because for most of the year I had nothing planned past December 9th, which there was a scrub, but
Yeah.
I didn't plan anything past it, not because I thought I was going to die or anything, but because I was just like, this is the one singular event that I'm just, looking forward to this entire year. So
yeah.
I don't have any, like, I was thinking of getting a tattoo to commemorate actually on my birthday. So
Do it. That would be so metal.
it's going to be like stupid simple tattoo, just probably like a line, like the Carmen line kind of deal. Just a small line like on my collarbone or something. Is what I was thinking.
That's cool. Do you?
Because I'm not like a huge tattoo person.
Yeah,
I've never thought I would want a tattoo.
That was my next question. You an ink guy or what?
No, yeah.
No, me neither. I respect it.
For the longest time, my parents would have like killed me if I even considered getting a tattoo. So
this story sounds very familiar. Yeah, my parents too. They'd be like, "No, you're not doing that." I'm like, "Why not?" No, you're not doing that.
Yeah, but I don't know. This feels like a good occasion for that.
I would say that that's about as good of an occasion as you can get.
I mean, like, there's a few like big things about this that are just beyond my experience too. Like, I was the first pansexual person to go to space. I was the first furry to go to space, which is definitely an interesting one. A lot of people have had mixed opinions on.
Yeah, that ruffled some jimmies, if I do say so myself.
But a lot of people also loved that. And I'm also apparently now the youngest American to go to space. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Haley Arsenault flew on Inspiration 4. And now, yeah, I know someone's going to bring it up, so I'm just being preemptive. Yeah, that one went to orbit, and Cameron's flight went up and then right back down. Still,
yes,
across the Kármán line. That still counts. That's space. Yeah.
Yep.
We understand the difference between orbit and suborbital. I mean, it doesn't undermine the achievement, I don't think. That's still pretty freaking cool. Actually,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing.
All right. Yeah. Actually, I was gonna. Soapbox has a question in chat. Or viewer has a question in chat. How supportive was Blue of your identity? Like, I would imagine they were super pumped about it. Yeah.
Yeah, they actually didn't know about any of it until like after signing contracts. So not by intention. I wasn't trying to hide it, but then when they found out about it, they've been incredibly like, they're like, oh, this is so cool. Like, they actually had an internal, they do like a Zoom presentation things within the company, and they had one that was run by their internal organization called New Ride, for Sally Ride.
Nice. All right.
Who was the first queer person in space, although not open until her obituary.
Yeah,
very
she kept that on the
sad
DL.
It's sad that because I think at the time it was tough for the people who identified differently, because they were afraid that if they were to be public about it, then they wouldn't get the opportunity to be astronauts, because NASA would be like, this controversy about your identity is taking away from our mission and stuff like that. So it's an unfortunate situation, but that's why she wasn't able to be out. So it's great that nowadays we have I'm forgetting the name of the other two LGBTQ plus people who went to space, but then there's also me, and being super open about it. And they the New Ride division, they had a presentation, and they interviewed me actually as part of that. So
cool.
They were the entire company's been super supportive of it. Blue Origin's posted pictures of me holding the pansexuality flag that I pride flag that I took with me up into space, and
Cool, man.
they also took photos with like my fursuit on, which I posted and when I landed.
Mm-hmm.
And they seemed everybody there, at least in the astronaut village and the training center and all that, they all like they loved those photos and yeah, it just very much supportive of all of it.
Dude, one thing that I've been huge about on this stream is not gatekeeping space. That's space is not that big of it's still, even with all the commercial space flight that's happening nowadays and how space has kind of re-entered the public conscious, right? I still think it's a really stupid idea to like you shouldn't pick and choose. That's dumb. We need all the help we can get, so the more people that we can get on board with flying into space, the better. Like, so I mean, that's super cool that they were supportive of that. I mean, I'm sure Blue gets that too. I know that I've talked to people there many times. Like, I know they're all about that stuff. We can't picking and choosing is stupid. That is a distraction. Let's send everybody. That's way It's way easier to do that. We can't afford to pick and choose. That's dumb.
Yeah, and Blue's like, look, they're trying to do. Actually, I don't know if I should say this, but they're trying to do more and more launches at lower and lower costs, it's gonna just
fair.
keep getting, like, there's gonna be so many people that are getting this opportunity from this point on, and they just want to keep doing it and keep driving those prices down, keep giving people the experience, and keep developing the technology. So there's a fire under their butts.
No, that's a good thing, and don't worry. That's not like, oh my gosh, that's what they want. That's what every commercial company wants to do. But I like that Blue understands. There are other companies that understand this too, but scale is the only way to beat this problem. You got to fly more, not less. Flying less that's not a sustainable solution. And you can go to Blue, you can ask them this question. They'll tell you the same thing. You go to any other commercial company, anyone else that flies commercial in the industry, they'll tell you got to beat the problem with scale. So yeah, that's not anything that nobody here didn't know. But that's cool. That's good to see commitment like that.
Yeah. I'm just excited to see more and more people get the opportunity. And they did a thing actually for NS-19 that they hadn't done before, where they had previous astronauts give like little speeches. They wrote like little speeches basically that Capcom gave us while we were waiting for liftoff. And I'm excited to get to give my messages to the future people as well, because they're gonna keep doing that presumably. So
that's very cool, man. We heard them, and one of the things that kind of a little bit somber is they had Glenn's message on there too, which is just
yeah. So an interesting fact about that actually is Glenn, I believe, was on the board of Carnegie Mellon.
Oh.
Which is a university.
Yeah, of course.
And my dad was also on the board, because that's where he went to college.
So you knew him.
So they were friends. And they didn't know, because they keep it really secret as to who's going to be on board until we didn't know that Strahan or Laura were going to be on our flight until the day before the entire crew was announced publicly.
Yeah.
So they keep it pretty secret. So we didn't even know that Glenn was going to be on the flight before us until it was public. And then they're like, oh, but it was good that they were friends, because they gave us all the information and got us excited about it. And it was great that they had his wife gave a few words, and then there was a quote in there from Glenn himself as well.
So let me just fill chat in. chat, we're talking about Glenn DeVry, who flew on the, what was he, 18, right? He flew on the flight before you. So Glenn DeVry was one of the commercial customers for Blue that flew on the mission prior to Cameron's here. And unfortunately, very recently, he passed away. So that's what I mean when I say it was really cool that they had, they read his message, and then, as Cameron said, they had his wife read a little bit too, which is that's cool, man. That's really, really classy stuff from Blue. Blue always keeps it super classy like that.
And I don't know if you saw the mission patch has a little, it has his initials on it.
Let me take a look.
It's like right in the middle.
Oh yeah, there you go, GDV, right there.
Yeah, on the little capsule.
That's cool. Oh yeah, it's on the bottom of the capsule. Ah, all right.
Also, my face is the one in the back right.
Okay, all right, there you go.
It's in the order of the names as well on each side, I believe so.
All right. Okay, I love there's two Besses on there. It's Bess.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
It also says Best Dick, which
I wasn't gonna say anything, man. Damn.
It's great. So Evan, he's very self-aware of his last name, and
Dude, I can't even imagine.
It's not in any of the media that's out yet, but when he was doing his like comm checks, once we got back in our seats, he made sure to make it amusing.
Excellent.
He was yeah.
Yeah, you gotta own it, you know.
Yeah, I was like, I was sitting there at peak G's pressing my button, like saying like, oh, sitting pretty, and then he's right after me, and he's just like, dick is good, and I just everybody started laughing.
Yeah, I'll admit, if I had a last name like that, I'd probably do the same thing.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
It's Chad move right there.
Yeah.
All right, we got another question here from Chad. If you don't mind, you want to take some questions from them?
Yeah, don't mind.
Cool, sweet. All right, so Rocketman asks, how has your view of the Earth changed with this flight? Did you get some overview effect from it?
Yeah, so the overview effect's still like it confuses me because nobody can really like pinpoint exactly what it means to them.
Yeah.
But I definitely feel a lot just more, I don't know, it's I don't know how to put it into words because I guess like as everybody else before me, but I definitely have more respect for everybody around me and everything around me, and just like walking around town, I just feel like happier about just everything. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely hits everybody a little bit differently. When we were sitting here watching William Shatner get out of the capsule, and he was just like, "Wow, it was so amazing! I can't believe." I'm like, well, he did the thing.
I couldn't talk afterwards. I was like, I just anytime I was just like, oh, how was it? I was like, all
right,
thumbs up,
Yeah, no, man. I've always said that I want to see that. I want to see that someday. I can't even imagine, dude. And that's, when we talk about the overview effect on stream, that's what I say. Like, people are like, "Have you launched in his face?" I'm like, no, but you can't. The overview effect, like, it has profound effects on people. Do I know what that is? No, I have no idea. Because you're absolutely right. It definitely hits everyone a little bit different.
Yeah. Somebody says Shatner got hit with a truckload of the overview effect.
Dude, he couldn't. It's crazy to see someone, that's usually very well spoken. Bill Shatner's a very well spoken dude, and don't get me wrong, I've never talked to him. I've only seen him, like as much as anybody else does. But he comes out of the capsule, he's just like, I got nothing. Yeah, I got nothing. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's definitely, if it's gonna, get him to just basically potato on camera, like dude, I can't even imagine. I don't blame you for just being like, yeah, that was pretty neat. All right.
But it isn't even like that either. It's definitely very like strong emotionally. Like for like I still get like chills or like choked up sometimes watching the footage, like because it's powerful. But I don't know. I also have like a theory that the older you are, the more profound it is.
Yeah.
That's just a head canon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. When you get older, take it from someone that's a little bit older, you start to get perspective on things, It's not something you have because it's like one of those things that just takes time, like.
And it's such a mind-blowingly different perspective too,
right?
when you're up there. So if you have built up this whole repertoire of this like perspective of life and struggle and all that, then you have this whole new perspective. It's like when after like 80 or 90 years, I feel like that's wild.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, take someone like William Shatner. I mean, guy, when he was your age, no one had launched into space. If I'm doing the math out correctly, like that's definitely a little bit on the profound side. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I grew up, where every kid was like, "Oh, I want to be an astronaut," right?
Right, yeah, I mean, yeah, of course.
And like Laura talked about a few times where when Alan Shepard said, "Oh, I'm gonna be an astronaut," she is like, what does that mean? Like that word's not in my dictionary.
Yeah.
Like, and then he would explain it like they're gonna put me in a rocket and they're gonna shoot me up to space and then I'm gonna land safely, and that's it wasn't in people's knowledge base. I mean, obviously since he was the first American in space, that's definitely a big part of it, but still.
I mean, you say he's the first American in space. I mean, the Russians have a different word for someone that flies into space. It's cosmonaut. So yeah, astronaut was truly not something that people like. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty crazy. And then Shep after that flew to the moon on Apollo 15, which is just all right. Okay.
Yeah. So Laura actually brought a replica of the golf club that he used on the moon.
Yep.
And that was flown in space as well.
That's cool. That's cool. It's funny. I sometimes do trivia here on the stream, and I'm like, okay, what's the only sport that's ever been played on another planet or another celestial body? And people are like, what? I'm like, golf, and they're like, how? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. Another cool. That just reminded me of things that I brought along.
Yeah.
I forget the actual name, but the Blackbird plane.
SR-71. You got it right.
The SR-71. Yeah. I got a few scraps of that plane, obviously a one that crashed, and I flew those on NS-19 with me. So, it got to fly again at the 3 times speed of the sound. Yep.
That's cool. You got it. So titanium, right?
Honestly, I guess so. I don't know much though.
Is it like dark gray, like really dark gray?
Yeah.
The SR-71.
They were just like screws and stuff, but like
even the screws, man. That they had to make that thing out of titanium. It was the only way it could take the heat.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, because I had a friend who's also a furry who works at NASA.
Oh, all right. Hey.
And they heard about it and they're like, can I ship you these things? Because that would be insane if we could get it to fly on New Shepard.
Yeah. Chad, I wonder if it was the okay. You said it was an SR-71 that crashed. So this is some real AvGeek stuff. So I'm about to out myself as a really big nerd here. So just bear with me, okay? So there was the SR-71, there was the A-12, and there's the YF-12. They're all different variants of the airplane for different purposes, right? And guys, now that I put myself on the spot, I forget which one was the one that where they grafted 2 planes together. That was the YF-12, right? So an SR-71 crashed and an A-12 crashed, and they parted the planes out, and they built one good plane out of it. Yeah, it was the YF-12. Yeah. So I wonder if you have parts from one of the planes that crashed that ended up becoming the YF-12. That would be really cool. I'd be curious to pick your friend's brain about that. Be like, hey, where did this come from? You know?
Yeah, they like went into detail on like a video message to me about it.
Cool.
So, but I, you know, again, I don't know a lot about the industry, so
yeah, no worries, dude. No
so
worries.
I didn't like retain a lot of it, but
yeah, that's something that I have to deal with here. I can't go too crazy with it, or else I lose people real fast.
Oh, no.
People are like, yeah, I understood some of that, EJ. That's fine. I'm like, yep, okay. Freaking, but yeah, no. I mean, going back to New Shepard, part of what I try to do is not just cover the flight, but I try to show people like just what this rocket is doing and how it works and stuff. And yeah, trying to, I say translate rocket science because it might as well be another language. Trying to translate that into normal people terms is that takes time and it takes a lot of thought, more than one would imagine. But yeah, that's still really freaking cool.
And there's a lot of misinformation out there. Like it's like the number one that I get the most is oh, are you proud of the carbon that you emitted on your space ride?
Yeah, it's pollutants, right? Yep. Nope. Nice try.
Nice try.
Not today, man.
And then when I tell them that it's like, oh yeah, it's just water as the emission, then they're like, well, how did they make the rocket? And I was like,
Yep.
well, I mean, obviously there's a lot of carbon in that, but at that point, especially with a reusable rocket, you are wasting more carbon riding your airplane to like Christmas.
That's right. You're right. I mean, so okay, what Cameron's talking about is that New Shepard is a hydrolox rocket, so it uses hydrogen and oxygen. So the only real byproduct of combusting liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen is literally water. There's water in the exhaust. Sorry, I won't do that again. So people say, oh, that is carbon pollution and stuff. Nope, not with this rocket. And then and then people always they move the goalposts, right? I mean, I have to deal with this stuff too. Like probably not as much as you do, because people come here on their own volition, right?
It's died down, luckily, but
yep. Yeah, no. Well, how much carbon did it take to use that rocket? Well, hey, how are you talking to me on Twitter right now? Is it through a phone?
Using electricity, which burns carbon.
That really activates my almonds there. How did that happen? Funny how that works.
Yeah.
Freaking. Go ahead.
It's something. It's just something.
Hey, dude. You know what, man? I said this the other day, but I'll say it again just for the record here. You don't need to prove nothing to nobody. You flew into space. They didn't. And don't get me wrong, you shouldn't be like, well, I flew into space and you did it. Like, someone's gonna give you crap over that. Like, oh yeah, oh geez, I'm really worried about this. Like, your opinion really means a lot. Nope. No. Yeah, exactly, Drummer. Chalk it up to jealousy. So, all right.
Definitely a component, but I'd say a lot of people are just genuinely concerned for the environment and just don't have the right information. Like, there's this infographic that I'm trying to find it right now that is extremely misleading, but that's
well, dude, look, carbon emissions, man, that's something that I don't think we've gotten a long enough data set to know exactly what it's doing. The point is, and this is like the whole point of contention. The what people are like, oh no, it's not, like, how much is it screwing things up? But see, like, I think the right thing to look at is, like, you probably shouldn't screw around with your life support systems. That's probably not a good idea. I'm just putting it out there. Like, that's probably, putting carbon in the atmosphere is like saturating a CO2 scrubber on a spacecraft. That means no more oxygen. Yeah, I mean, down the road. So I think that, you know, people's concern for it is pretty dang genuine. But yeah, they try to, you know, it's like, oh, this rocket's doing this rocket's doing that. You know,
there's bigger concerns.
Exactly. I mean, and dude, another thing that I like to tell people, because people, dude, I'm telling you, when I cover the Blue Origin missions, someone always asks that same question. It's very interesting that you bring that up. Oh, this is just for tourism, right? Like, well, I mean, Blue Origin has some pretty solid stated goals as to why they're doing a rocket like this. It's because it's scalable for bigger things in the future, which is...
Yeah, and right now tourism is the best way for them to start paying and lowering costs, you know? Like,
yep. Hey,
yes, right now it's just tourism, but that's not what they want their end goal to be. And I'm sure, you know, a lot of people in here know that, but
yeah, no, it's important to bring up while we're on the subject. It's an important thing to understand. Blue isn't just doing this for tourism. They're doing it because they're trying to figure out better ways to scale rockets. So, I mean, by the big man himself's admission, New Shepard is scalable. It's way over-engineered for what it should be doing because it's designed that technology will find its way into other rockets down the road. That's not... I'm just going to say that other commercial companies have used that type of thought process to make some pretty dang successful pieces of equipment. So,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And their mission statement of millions of people living and working in space to benefit the Earth. That's just that. I feel like more people just need to hear that, and I think it puts people at ease. You know.
Yep.
Because I think well. To a degree, I think there's a lot of people concerned about what people working in space will look like, but I have faith that it'll hopefully be a positive experience. But yeah, I think that goal is just so it's good. It's altruistic.
It's something that we need to do. I mean, once again, you're right. Blue Origin's stated goal is to get people working in space, but the reason why they're going to do that is so. I mean, okay, it's pretty simple addition here, right? Like, the less people you have on Earth, less carbon emissions you have. Simple. Like, I'm pretty sure, if I'm recalling correctly, that I've heard people from Blue that they would love to get it to the point where Earth is like a giant national park, which is, I mean, hey, that's. Yeah, you tell people that. Like, dude, I've sold people on Blue telling them that before. They're like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. I'm like, yeah, these people don't do this for fun. I mean, even though it is. Like,
there's also the concern that if it becomes a national park, then who's able to access that?
Yeah.
And I'm just, you know, my fingers are crossed that it's not like, oh, rich person vacation destination, planet Earth.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
hey, my boyfriend's in chat.
Oh, word? There you go.
Yeah, Pringle _ here.
What's up, Pringle? How you doing? Sorry, I'm keeping Cameron for a second, if you don't mind.
I told him that I was gonna join you, so
cool,
he knows.
Cool. Sorry to keep him away. We'll be done here soon.
He probably has to. He lives in Iceland, so he's probably going to bed soon. Anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Pringle, are you from Reykjavik? I probably didn't say it right. Did I say it right? You tell me.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
It's only 10 p.m. Yeah. Okay. All right.
It's only 10 p.m. Well, okay.
Hey, some people go to bed early. All right, we don't judge you.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Come on. All right, so. Let me see, just in the meantime, let's see. I joined the ride partway through, but were there any specific instructions on what not to do during the 0G part? That's actually a good question.
Yeah, so there was a whole, like, part of the training about what to do, I guess, in 0G, which included some, like, not to do stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, don't use your legs to push, because your legs have a lot of power, and you don't need a lot of power to move. Like, use your fingertips to move around. Like, don't like push off super hard. When you're getting out of your seat, like take it slow. If you're starting to feel disoriented, try to orient yourself so that like you're in the traditional up and down with the like capsule, because if you start rotating, it can be disorienting because the sense of what is up and down doesn't exist in zero gravity.
Yeah.
It's all cognitive instead of like a sense.
That's very interesting. That sounds like the way to cure seasickness. You just orient yourself to the horizon and focus on the horizon, and that's how it goes. It's very interesting that still applies to space. That's cool.
Mostly because you're so used to like the training, which was in that crew capsule. So when you start to flip upside down and you're not feeling like you're flipping upside down, but then you see that the capsule's upside down, that can be like really weird. So
that would screw with me. Yeah, that would screw with me a lot.
So they say like, okay, it'll help you a little bit if you orient yourself in the way that you're used to being in it in 1G.
That's wild, man. Okay, so we'll begin wrapping it up here. So I got a couple more questions. All right, the one here is, would you go again?
Definitely.
Yeah. No question. No, just yep. Let's go again.
Yeah, it was a great experience all around. Even just like the training and the being around the rest of the crew and like the food that they give you, and they like gave me like a whole wardrobe. They gave me one of the Omega Speedmasters.
Whoa.
Like the ones that they had, I believe, on the Apollo missions.
Yeah, that's a really nice watch.
Yeah, so they like,
damn,
the hospitality was just insane, and I don't know how that's going to scale with the rest of the thing, but just the entire experience, and then just cap it off with the launch is just like, probably one of the greatest weeks you could have.
Yeah, dude, I'm with you. That's crazy. Freaking.
And it was like everything about it. Like they in the Airstream trailers that they had you like staying in, they had like snacks for you, and they were all like astronaut ice cream, like moon cheese, like space rocks, which are just like a different brand of pop rocks.
Yeah.
And like it was, and like they had like paintings and pictures on the wall that were all like space themed, and it's just they really thought about everything down to extreme detail.
That's cool. Were there any Dippin' Dots? This is important.
There were not Dippin' Dots.
Damn it! All right. Okay. All right. Anyway, so now, okay. Well, one more follow-up to that question. Would you go into orbit?
Would I go in? Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, I will admit, 3 minutes. I like towards the end of that, I was mildly like nauseous because I wasn't adapted to it yet.
Yeah.
So I like, especially on something like Inspiration, which is such a small space, and they were up there for several days, and had to get used to that feeling. That sounds difficult.
Yeah.
But it also does sound like a crazy, wild experience that maybe I would be down for.
Right on, man. All right. Well, I think that's where I'll let you go. Cameron, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you coming on here. It means a lot to me, and I'm sure it means a lot to everybody here in the stream, dude.
Yeah, and I see there's a lot of just random questions in your chat, and I stream 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go check out my stream, you can ask as many questions as you want.
Yeah, guys, go over there, follow them. Twitch streamers has been into space. Huh. Something I never thought I'd say. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, I'll let
it's
you go.
It's weird to be the first of that as well, but
Hey, I mean,
I'm just honored. I'm very honored to be in the
that's
position.
cool. Do you think we could, put more streamers into space? I'm asking for a friend.
I think their goal is to put as many people as they can into space.
Oh,
so
right. Yeah.
Eventually, maybe.
All right, buddy. Hey, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Totally. Thanks for chatting. Because I've been lurking, watching you play Satisfactory and stuff.
Yeah, that game. Gotta be careful with that game.
That game's great.
All right. All right, buddy. I'll let you go. See
Yep.
ya.
Have fun.
All right,
Good luck.
will do. See ya, buddy.
Bye, everybody.
Well, that didn't suck. That was pretty cool. Returning as extra? Nah. No Dippin' Dots though, so just remember, guys, if you have more questions, so Cameron Meeps Kitten in chat does stream, so yeah, feel free to go over there, give the guy a follow. Always look out for fellow Twitch streamers, right? And especially fellow Twitch streaming space adventurers and space nuts. We like those. Yep, those are pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah, that's really awesome. So that was Cameron Bess, who flew on, or Meeps Kitten on Twitch. He flew on the NS-19 mission. So into space, crossed the Kármán line, over 100 kilometers that way, which is not many people. Not many people can say that. Cool. Hey, Neopod with the 10 subs.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Sweet. Very cool. Thanks, buddy. All right. So when is EJ going to space? Let me just call up Blue Origin. I'll ask them. I'll be like, hey, can I fly into space? They'd be like, sure. You have money? I'll be like, nah. And they'd be like, and I'll be like, hello? Hello? After this stream, I'm now wondering how soon we'll have Belters in a war with Mars. Hey, it doesn't have to go down like that, Bald, all right? It doesn't have to go down like that. I have $3. Is that enough? No, you need at least $3.50. At least $3.50. So, yeah, that was pretty wild stuff, right? Work out a deal where you live stream the launch. They already do that. I mean, that's already a thing. You get the reference, I hope. Remember the can't, Bald. Remember the can't. I actually haven't watched the new episodes yet. I should probably go and do that. I'll probably do that over break. So, live stream well being launched. I mean, if they were down, I would do it. In other news, you cleaned out the car and you filled it up with gas. All right, Remo, that's cool. I'm just waiting until next month, then binge them. Yeah, The Expanse is one of those shows where, yeah, it sucks to wait until the next episode. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, that was a pretty freaking cool. Hopefully we can get more interviews like that. That was fun. I enjoy doing interviews like that. But yeah, I was telling Meeps before, I don't like scheduled, like, straight, these are the questions. I like kind of going with the flow with the interviews. You guys tell me. I would want to do more stuff like that, but do you enjoy stuff like that? That's the real thing. You gotta let me know. And I'm not saying let me know by liking and subscribing to the stream. No. Just tell me. Tell me if you like more stuff like that. Hey, Jay, I really appreciated that interview. You should do more of that. Just let me know.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
Hey, Elfish, 28-month resub. And yeah, guys, I wasn't calling resubs and subscriptions during the interview because I don't really like interrupting. That's not really my style, you know? So thank you to everybody that had a resub. And Bald, you had a new sub in there, so I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I love that you looked at the game he made and suddenly promoted his stuff on stream. Real nice. Hey, Bald, I try to pay it forward, man. You know, that's my style. I don't, you know, like, it's just, yeah, no, that's a cool thing to do, right? Like, it's cool to see that, you know, I mean, like, we all like games here. I thought it would be relevant, you know? I mean, it is Twitch, right? Like, I appreciate that interview. Do more of those. All right.